Oh, shit.
temp
Damn.
HP. That is
crazy.
almost, that is
Something's upon us.
114 temp HP amongst 6
Wow.
people.
And if it's coming, I say let it come. You were saying, sir?
I would like
True first night.
I would like to get your eyes on this room, the body. You have the knowledge of the arcane that I do not. And I would like to also go back to my offices at Cloudstone, re-examine Bespin's room, his items, see if there was anything else that we missed, and maybe I can bring those items to you, not just the bow, but perhaps something we didn't pay close enough attention to.
I'll help you however I can.
Can I lead them over to
Yeah.
the room and ask for a
You
guard?
go to the room. You guys can absolutely just get a guard posted at this room. You know, Pasha has people that can be posted up. You guys enter into the room, see this dead body, see the cracked mirror. I'm gonna you may roll Arcana, you may roll History, you may roll Perception, Investigation, whatever you want to roll. The best results will come from a religion check.
Cool.
+3?
Is this all of us?
All of you. You're all in the room. You can all.
Also, just saying, handled that with a, with just a melee weapon. I didn't need any.
I just rolled a natural 20 for my religion check.
Oh!
Oh my god! That's a religion! Come on!
Magic fingers.
Hallelujah! Realness!
Pally Daddy!
So. Hold on a sec here.
Do the rest of us need to roll anything?
Yeah.
I know.
No.
Like,
Just
you're
coast on
really
that.
like, Can
Can we
just
coast
listen
on that
around?
nat 20?
I mean, it's a 21 handling
Let's
check or
ride
something.
that. Save the
I just
rolls.
want to admire the wet work, ooh, right across the neck.
1,000,000%. So.
Oh god, fire.
Oh god. Oh god, no.
Oh god, no.
Too tired.
So, you all enter the room. Everyone starts looking. There's stuff to glean here. You can read some of this infernal. The mages of this place can find different stuff. Xerxes. Orange irises and bloodshot eyes. You look into the eyes of a dead man. Runes everywhere. You hear in your mind. It's not a comforting feeling. Nobody likes to feel like they're dreaming when they're wide awake. Oh, God. My God. You see the infernal on his body, and you see the exposed injury. You're a healer. You know how you have lay on hands. You know what it. You're one of the people here that can cure disease. So you know that if this man was still alive, that his body would be riddled with tumorous growths all throughout. And they're coming from the things that he has carved into his flesh. Infernal runes. Clerics have fallen out of vogue here in Avalier. What does it mean to draw power from a deity? It's complicated. What is the clerical version of a wizard's study? We all know that clerics draw their power from their gods, but if the gods want power, why wouldn't they just grant their most powerful spells to any and all of their followers? Why are some clerics stronger than others? It's not arcana, it's not history, it's their wisdom. As clerics grow in a deeper understanding of the facet of reality manifested by their deity, they become more aware and attuned to those forces within the world and can wield greater magics. There is a limit to what is safe to grant a follower. But no. What if you weren't worried about keeping your followers safe? You look into this man's eyes, and a term floods into your mind. It's a term in Infernal. It means puppet. It's a human so devoted to you that it's not even worth magically dominating them or charming them anymore. They just let you into their soul. And the word is Knauf. It's a word that hasn't been spoken on Exandria since the foundations of this world. The man you are looking at became a cleric of a betrayer. And he became a cleric of a betrayer looking at the speed of these growths maybe a little over 2 weeks ago. What would you do if you came back to the world after a long time away and nobody worshipped you and you needed to make some moves real quick? This is a mortal man that was forced to understand things that he was not ready for because his master didn't need a servant. He just needed a puppet.
Welcome, Trey.
Wow. As Xerxes is processing all of this and seeing the wasted person devoted to who he was following and consumed by that devotion that was taken advantage of, he just kneels and traces the wounds with his finger and just spends a moment on those tumors and takes a closer look. Is there anything about that? Nothing is more familiar to me beyond what's been described. I've not seen this like this before.
This is all unfamiliar.
I'm going to point out the runes to those that are of an arcane understanding. I don't know if it's worth copying them down or understanding them better, but this is what I see has happened here, and I explained to them what I saw.
I've already copied them down, and you see kind of like thin, like wisps of light kind of pour out of the runes and into the orb that is constantly floating around Paisha.
Very troubling.
2 weeks ago is when Vespin Chloris attempted his ritual, correct?
So you good?
Correct.
He succeeded. We need to proceed as though he was successful.
He was successful.
But he succeeded with what? Bringing,
So what?
not ascending,
No.
bringing back.
Some sort of betrayer god.
They
Yes.
were locked away.
I don't even know what the betrayer gods are. Do we have a running tally of these fellows?
Yes.
What are they for us? Are they're like,
They're betrayers.
yeah, they're just like like
They're not here.
from history.
Yeah. From history. Well, they've been sealed away.
Okay, great.
I mean, you live in an age where the prime deities walk Exandria openly, and their brethren. I mean, the schism is your creation myth. Or not creation myth, but the myth following the creation. You know that what happened was there was a time in which the prime deities, in a world of strife and chaos, sought to give divine magic to their children, to mortals. And the primordials that had existed in the world, the elemental titans that had existed in the world prior to the arrival of the deities, who, before the schism, there was not a distinction between prime deity and betrayer. No betrayal had happened. There were just the gods and the primordials. The gods fractured when divine magic was granted to mortals. The primordials rose up to correct that imbalance, and the betrayers joined the primordials against the cause of mortals.
In an effort to rule out the hope that Vespin did not somehow manually manipulate access for a betrayer god, do we know in history, are there any instances of one of these gods breaking through into this plane, even if for a short time before being pushed back? An instance, an incursion.
I'm going to improvise an important piece of canon right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Or so much so that it's rare.
The prime deities were so thorough in sealing the betrayer gods away that the betrayer gods were not able to grant spells. The betrayer gods, the worship of them was completely fruitless.
Yeah, nothing. You got nothing, even if you wanted to.
There's one more thing I want to do with this body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to trace again with my finger the runes.
Don't touch it.
And as I'm touching them,
Flavor's
I'm
like,
going to on
"Ew."
occasion infuse it with divine energy. I'm going to just spend a point of lay on hands on occasion, not to heal the body,
Yeah.
but to connect.
What are you worried about? You're down there making engines.
As I trace all of those runes.
You connect. I don't know what it means for someone to become as lost as this man was, to do what he did, to seek for who he sought for. But you're a man with a lot of questions. And I think that you understand what it's like to feel lost. The eyes close, and this body, at least, knows more rest now than it did in life.
Having a moment. Gross.
I am of two minds. If we are amongst ourselves to admit that a Vespin Chloris succeeded in interacting with a betrayer god, it seems fitting that we either confirm this possibility by revisiting your reconstructed site, or we seek out some greater understanding of Xerxes' dreams by finding a prophet or better understanding what is going on with the Hall of Prophecy.
Yes, I agree.
I admit I am not wholly ready to give myself over to this idea, and would like to better understand what exactly we are potentially dealing with before we start making decisions from a place of truth.
Well, just one. I don't have opinions. I just report. But just a theory to toss out as you were talking and you were talking. It's just a wild theory. I could be possibly totally wrong. But the betrayer gods can't come through. They're locked out. They can't get in here. They're stuck out, right? Mm-hmm. So and we know that this lady became the matron of ravens.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, and Vespin did the same thing. So, this betrayer god that Vespin has awoken or whatever wouldn't have to make the journey from lands beyond to get here, because Vespin would be the betrayer god. He would be here already. Doesn't have to go through any gate or anything, because he's gone through this ritual that makes him a god.
It's possible.
We would know. We would know if he had ascended, though. We knew when the Matron of Ravens.
How did we know?
Thought we had a feeling. We were like,
In the
Oh, plus
in
one
the,
more.
in the blink of an eye, anyone who was standing in a temple to the previous god of death watched all of the names of that god be erased from the stone in front of them at the moment of her ascension.
But there is no knowing of the betrayer god, so there would be no one who knew if they changed.
Except here we have evidence of someone who was drawing upon their power and was receiving it, so the line of that is established here.
Loquacious, you're the one extraplanar person here. Give me an insight check.
On myself? I'm self-inciting?
No, I think you're inciting the world.
I fucking love inciting the world. A 22, but if I fail, I can add a D4.
I love the offer every time. There you go.
If I fail.
Roll a D. You won't fail because you're on a gradient. So roll the D4 for me.
Hit that.
Okay, 24.
24. You're sitting here. You're talking about like, did this ritual work or not, right? All of your friends. You have powerful friends here in this room, who have very specific functions within the city. Right now, for being not human, you are thinking about human nature. You were thinking about the nature of all beings. The gods are impossible to fathom, sure, but if they have wars, if they squabble and bicker with each other, how inhuman can they be? If there is a puppet here, it's indicative of a conspiracy. And a conspiracy exists to accomplish something that has not happened yet. So I think that when you're saying like the ritual, something happened, I think on that insight, that powerful insight check, you're pulling on the right thread. Something happened, perhaps something terrible, but the apocalypse, if the apocalypse happened, you'd notice it. Something is at work, but not finished. That is what your opinion is, as you try to put the pieces together. Sarah is right. An infernal cultist came to the palace of the Keeper of Scrolls in Avalier. But that cultist came to do something, which means that something needed to happen.
As he is saying that, charmingly, a lot snaps into place for Paisha as well. How the fuck did this motherfucker get in?
Yeah.
Is there like something I can do to like check? How did he? I'm assuming that I would have so many things set up in terms of like, you know, warning signs, breach points, zones of truth, you name it.
You have divining stones. You go back through a divining stone effortlessly, and look through.
Yeah. Looking at my smart home.
Looking at your smart home.
iPad.
On the Nest.
It's on the Nest. Yeah, I'm looking at all the ring cams.
Yeah, right. A Hadmadad walked down this hallway. It was not in the livery of the Golden Scythe. It walked down this hallway and never came back out. It never came back for the whole party up to this current moment as you're recording. You do a quick scan of the hallway, there's no Hadmadad anywhere, but you see just the corner from where one of your divining stones can catch it, the Hadmadad opening the door to this room.
Right.
And that Hadmadad had come as a porter carrying a gift of Dean Lycretia Hollow.
Wait.
The walk sign is on.
Carrying a gift of D.
So when Lycretia Hollow showed up, she had a Hadmadad with her carrying a gift. That Hadmadad put the gift down, and being a Hadmadad that no one would care to follow or look at that much, wandered off, walked into this room, and that's the last you see of it, and you're in this room, and it's not in here. But there was an invisible cultist in here.
And that was the one because I caught out of the corner of my eye when I was doing my detect thoughts, and it went.
No, different one. That one's still disanimated.
That one doesn't.
If invisibility is a second level spell and disguise self is a first level spell. That cultist was disguised as a Hadmadad and walked in here. And then when he got into the room, cast invisibility on himself and was waiting for the right moment. But the right moment never came because he got his throat slit by the senior site warden.
We got by cantrips, baby.
Got caught by cantrip.
You hate to see it.
Fundamentals, you guys. Fundamentals.
So
They have good
Hollow.
fundamentals.
Dean Hollow?
Just think about all the shit you've gotten
Dean
away
Hollow.
with as third level characters. You know what I'm saying?
It's under
Dean
Pacia's
Hollow.
list.
Where is Dean Hollow?
Where is? So I'm gonna
Enemy
go
throne of
over.
Necromancy, Archmage of the Ring of Silver.
Yes, I'm gonna go. She was the one who brought in. She came with Porvon.
Yeah.
Or she had invited Pervon and then openly mocked him in the
This
What
thing.
and we all applauded.
Because it was pretty dope. It's
pretty
some
dope.
solid dunks.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna go over. I'm imagining this room. I'm adding shit to canon as we go. Has like one of those like big panorama windows, like CEOs have, and they're like upstairs offices looking over their warehouse, looking at their like, worker minions. I imagine I have that in the house, and I'm looking over down into the foyer area. Can I clock Dean?
You see, there was a woman, Madara Glyph, was talking with her all night, but you don't see Lucretia Hollow anywhere here.
Well, we can go talk to who was talking to her and ask where she went.
How does our telepathic link work? Any of us can jump in and send a message, or just you can hit any of us?
Oh, yeah, I'll bring that shit back up. Rary's telepathic bond.
Cool.
Everyone can talk to everyone, and you can like
For how
Are you
silent
listening to
distance.
that, or is
What's the
just
distance?
that
Over
yours?
any distance.
Yeah.
Any
Any
distance.
It's a good spell.
It's a
long is
really
that
good spell.
Is that an hour or is that more than that?
It's an hour, but I can ritually cast it again and again and again.
Solid.
Okay.
Let's maybe keep that up.
So wait, okay,
I
and
only take
this is above the table. Marisha talking to DM. The one that I saw, the Hamadad that went boof.
That was one of that was a different one. That was one of Nidus's. So basically, what happened is that one disanimated for reasons